Welcome everyone to the Kagan Implementation Network webinar series, where we try to share practices, real success stories from practitioners and leaders just like you out in the field. Our intention with this community of learners is to help support you as you navigate this ambiguity of implementation, and these success stories are there to help you. Let's go ahead and introduce our featured speakers today. We have Principal Samantha Chaney and Assistant Principal Chantel Goodwin from Valrico Academy in Florida. They're in their fourth year of implementation with Kagan, and what they're going to share with you today is how to share success internally with your team. In the past, maybe there were teacher lounges with this massive bulletin board, and you could just post pictures and ideas on that bulletin board. But in 2026, what does that bulletin board look like? Is there a teacher's lounge? We're going to hear some ideas from these two today that hopefully prompt your thinking. So a little bit about these two leaders. Principal Chaney's been in education 23 total years, 11 of which have been in administration. That includes assistant principal and now in year 4 as principal. In her free time, you can find her at the soccer fields watching her boys play soccer. Assistant Principal Goodwin has been in education for 14 total years, 4 of those in admin. And you can find Principal Goodwin, Assistant Principal Goodwin, spending time with friends and family and also hosting friends and family. So what we're going to do, they've prepared some slides to share with you today. And so I'm going to invite them to come off mute and share all about this story. And let's get right into the meat of it. So welcome, you two. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you.
Can you tell us about your work sharing success with your team?
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. I would say this would be our very first year of hardcore strong trying to get Kagan into all of our classrooms. And so we wanted it to be an organic process. We wanted it to be something that our teachers bought into and didn't feel forced to do. So we were very intentional about how we went about that. So we started with faculty meetings and even pre-planning, and then we're going to talk a little bit about our engagement channel, our weekly drawings, and our Kagan leaders and how that kind of trickled down to what it is today. So this is a picture of some of our faculty meetings. We really felt like last year we knew that something needed to change and that something had to be different. We couldn't continue to just do what we've always done. So we're a high-performing elementary school, and it is really easy to just kind of slide into habits and just exist. And we really wanted more engagement for our students. So as we attended Kagan training over the summer, we realized that you can see here on the right, the two teachers looking at, it's a photocopy of Everyone Answers. And that was kind of our springboard. We felt like Everyone Answers was digestible and something the teachers could take and immediately implement. And so we started during our pre-planning. We get a week of the teachers before the students come back, and our entire pre-planning structure, everything we did was based around Kagan Structures. And then we've continued that into our faculty meetings. So these are just some pictures of some of those meetings. The teachers get to get up and have fun and be engaged rather than just sit and listen to us talk.
What I love here about just starting with this message is the meta communication that it sends when the leaders of the school are using the strategies that are being expected in the classrooms. The inverse of that is you use the structures in the classrooms, but I'm going to do traditional faculty meetings,
Right.
Which doesn't communicate what we're trying to spread with the vision of Kagan. This is a powerful first step.
And we expect modeling with our students, so we should be modeling with our teachers as well.
Makes total sense.
So one of the ways that we got some teacher buy-in was through our engagement channel. So we use Microsoft Teams for everything. Pretty much all communication is through Microsoft Teams. So we created, like Erin was saying, a digital bulletin board, that Teachers Lounge bulletin board, where teachers could post real-life happening of Kagan in their classrooms through the engagement channel. So what we have them do is we post pictures, just ideas, even videos, and you would be surprised at some of the awesome content that has come out of this engagement channel throughout the year. I would say any given week, we have at least 5 or more posts. Some weeks are heavier than others on the posts, but it's been really awesome to see real collaboration happening in a way that teachers, can get, digitally get out of their classroom, maybe not physically get out of their classroom, but digitally get out of their classroom and see what's happening in other classrooms around them.
So what I'm hearing you say is the engagement channel is hosted on Microsoft Teams. Everybody at your school has the ability to view and post to this page.
Yeah.
So other districts might be Google districts. Maybe there's another one out there, but you're using this as a type of social media platform for professional learning.
Yes,
correct. And teachers love sharing ideas with one another. So we just had to give a space for that to actually happen and drive the direction that we wanted it to go, which was through engagement and Kagan.
So you'll see on the next slide that we started by us posting in that channel. So we wanted to, get their buy-in, and you'll see here, you can see this is a post I made back in August, and it's every single post that we make starts with shout out to, and then we say the teacher's name. And then, Brave Miss Pettit tried out an inside outside circle while students collaborated on inferences. And so if you go to the next slide, you see where there's some comments from the other teachers. So comment on it, and they also get, like Miss Bible says, you'll have to teach me this one, Miss Pettit. So, Miss Bible didn't leave her classroom, but she learned a new structure, and the video is there. If you are a member of our Teams channel, you would be able to see a video of it. So we started with us in the classrooms. Every chance we got, we posted about engagement and made sure that it became almost like a cool thing to be on the engagement channel. So
this one piece of pushback I think that schools and districts might see is they go to a workshop, they sit through a Kagan professional learning session like our CL day 1. They enjoy it, that it makes sense to them. Then they go back to their schools and they might hit a barrier or two, and then they begin the narrative of this doesn't work with our students, or this doesn't work with our content. And of course, the research doesn't bear that out. However, what speaks more volumes, I think, in local context is to see the structures in action with students, with our students and our content. This channel is making that real. And I think my interpretation of this channel is that videos like that eliminates the barrier. You can't say it doesn't work with our students and our content.
Absolutely. And I think, it builds on the faculty meeting too. They get to know other people. So now they trust these people with sharing this information, which is what happens next. So after we were posting, and we still post all the time when we're in classrooms, but our teachers started posting themselves. So here you can see one of our teachers, Miss Brown, posted all my friends and she even says she's one of our teachers that went to Kagan over the summer, and she gives all the directions along with a video. And so now it's a different kind of buy-in. It's not us saying, I saw this happen. It's a teacher saying, here's something that worked in my classroom. And so what I love about this on the next slide is you can see, like, she posted this on March 5th, but then a bunch of teachers tried it out too. So both of my classes loved this. Another teacher posted a video of her classroom doing it. And then 20 days later, on the 24th, Miss Fulton's like, I came back to this and I changed it up. They're different grade levels, and they're able to share how they made it work for their classroom. So it's been really neat to see the teachers take ownership and be the ones posting instead of us.
And these teachers are on all different grade levels, so it creates a common space for them that they may not usually have had in the past.
And what I'm seeing here is not just Kagan Structures, but silly sports and goofy games can be used.
Yeah.
We do that during our faculty meetings sometimes too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We may get a couple of eye rolls, but they enjoy it in the end. So in order to incentivize our teachers to post in the engagement channel, we did start a weekly engagement drawing. So anytime they post a video, a picture, an idea within their engagement channel, they get an entry into our weekly raffle. And then also if they comment on somebody's post, they also get an entry. So maybe they didn't make the full post, but they commented, they still get an entry into the weekly engagement drawing. And then each week we put their prize in their mailbox. It's a little certificate that says you get to go to the teacher treasure box. So in the teacher treasure box, we have things like, little gadgets and gizmos, cute pens, notebooks, but we also have certificates for a free jeans day, for example. Jeans are coveted. So we have that opportunity for them to, find something that they like in the teacher treasure box, and they get rewarded for the things that they're already doing in their classroom.
What I love here is the idea of acknowledging engagement on the engagement channel. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking about some of the things that you're sharing, like Jeans Pass, the teacher treasure box. That doesn't have to be universal, right? High schools may choose a different way to approach acknowledging engagement on the engagement channel. And there might be schools that are already wearing jeans every day, so they would need to see what are some things that our staff wants. One thing that I would throw out there would be like covering a duty of some type, or even like, I will come teach your class for an hour so you can have an off-campus duty-free lunch. That one was a big hit with our team. So just some ideas to throw out there. I love what y'all are picking to match what your staff really enjoys.
Yeah. So now we're moving into our Kagan leaders. So one of the things that we have noticed is we just have some amazing teachers here. Like, we can't talk about that enough. We're not just saying that, we truly, do have amazing teachers. Our teachers have embraced Everyone Answers and really dove into it. Well, we have a group of teachers who have embraced Everyone Answers. They are experienced and have years of being here at Valrico, or years of experience in education. And we wanted them to be leaders on our campus for Kagan. So what we have done is create a chat in Microsoft Teams for them to share ideas about how they're using Kagan in their classroom. So it's kind of a spinoff on our engagement channel, but it is more directed in that we want them to be leaders for Kagan and engagement on our campus. We chose teachers that maybe, aren't the teachers that have, fully embraced Kagan, know a lot about Kagan already, but teachers that learned it in real time and, haven't had, the formal 2-day or 5-day training in Kagan. And what we do is we pick a structure every 2 weeks outside of Everyone Answers that they get to try and apply in as many different areas, content areas, and skills that they can. So here's an example of one of our teachers that shared, several different ideas: number heads together, fan and pick, two truths and a fiction, or fact and fiction. And she is not somebody who's going to post on the engagement channel. She is a little more shy. She's not going to be, a loud leader, but she is a leader in her classroom, and she's really awesome at what she does. And this Kagan Leaders group of 14 teachers gave her the opportunity to share the awesome things that are happening in her classroom without that pressure of it going out to everybody. And, it's funny enough, she's actually one of our most people that participate the most in our little group of 14 teachers. And I'm just really proud of, how much they're sharing, how many ideas they're putting out there from kindergarten to 5th grade.
I love what you're sharing about this teacher may not have participated as well in other outlets, but has found the Teams page to be meaningful and productive. And so we're getting engagement in a variety of ways. I'm curious, when you're out in classrooms and you're maybe doing walkthroughs, maybe you're doing coaching visits, if you see a really strong example, how likely are you to approach the teacher and invite them to post to the Teams page? Or just how do you go about right now getting the most participation you can and really trying to lift up examples on the Teams page?
I think that's something we're working towards more for next year. As far as the teachers actually posting, they're doing a great job, like the same, you get the same ones that post over and over. So currently it's more likely that we would pull out our phone and take pictures and post it. But we're starting to see that trend to, kind of switch to where the teachers are the ones the ones posting. And we do have, you know, like the Kagan leaders. I know Miss Goodwin has done a great job of kind of manning that chat, and she will occasionally say like, hey, this would be great to share on the engagement channel, you know, and get some of those teachers that maybe weren't going to post on their own to go ahead and post on the engagement channel.
I'm this looking at this page. Is this an extension of Find the Fiction that was
Yes.
alluded to in the previous slide?
Yes. And this was from a teacher who, you know, was doing great at Everyone Answers. Again, she's been teaching for quite a while now, and she just was looking for more ways we wanted her to get more involved with Kagan because she's a quiet leader, again, a different quiet leader. But she has so much to share. And again, she's not going to be the first one in the room to share out to the whole group. She's going to be the one who's going to share to her partner. So this gave her a way to share to a larger audience, but with less pressure. And to also give our teachers the ownership to know that they are going to be Kagan leaders. They are engagement leaders on our team, and we're going to help build that capacity with them.
That makes total sense. I'm curious, I think this is our last slide to share about the Teams page. So I have a few more questions that I would like to run by you and hear your thoughts on. You're at the end of your first year using this Teams channel. I'm curious what you would say has been the greatest impact of the channel, and what do you see as an improvement that y'all could make going into next school year with the channel?
So I think that I would say our biggest accomplishment with the channel would be the collaboration across grade levels, subject areas. You know I said it earlier, but we used to come into meetings and everybody sat with their team, and now people know each other and share with each other and collaborate in a whole different way. And you know, they come into the meeting knowing that we're going to make them move, that they're going to have to get to know some other people, and now they look forward to it. We had a teacher the other day that was kind of a little bit resistant, and I said, well, think about it for yourself. Like, do you want to go back to our old, you know, faculty meetings where you were read a bunch of dates and we sang happy birthday, or do you prefer what we've been currently doing? And he was like, yeah, you're right. So I think just that experience and them getting to know each other and collaborate with each other on a level they would have never done before has probably been our biggest success. I would say going forward, you know, we really next year want to focus on like progress over perfection, like, and continue the trend, but start to see even more teachers just, you know, jumping in and sharing in a way that's, you know, not as, you know, prescribed necessarily, but just feeling like they're free to share. And
we want it to become more of our culture that we're sharing and collaborating. You know, we've set the groundwork for that. Now we want our teachers to, you know, continue to take that and apply it as well. Our teachers always joke, and I'm sure everybody's heard this before, like when I close my classroom door, I don't know what happens in, you know, the other classrooms. And I think really the biggest success is that our teachers have had the opportunity to get a glimpse into other people's classrooms and see what's happening and get new ideas. And that's, you know, really what education is all about, is sharing ideas and, you know, doing what's best for your students.
I'm curious, I think I have time for one more question. As folks leave the Zoom today or when they watch the recording, for folks that are thinking, yes, we're starting this next school year, or maybe we'll fire it up right now and then we'll run version 2.0 next school year. But for folks who are going to take their first steps with a collaborative page like this, what advice would you give them in starting out?
I think the most important thing is that it takes time, and it takes your time as a leader. Like, you can't be at your desk and be in classrooms getting pictures of Kagan Structures happening in your building. So, you know, I think we did it without realizing we were doing it, but it's been a great success that we started off by posting. And I think that's where you have to start. You have to make the time to be in the classrooms, to be seeing and catching the good, you know, and I always tell my teachers, like, if I'm coming in for a walkthrough, I'm not trying to find the bad. I would love to catch the good. And so this just provides those opportunities to do that. And so it's so much more rewarding for us, even though the benefit has also been for the teachers. I would much rather catch a teacher doing the right thing than, document something that's wrong. So while yes, you have to make the time for it, it's definitely encouraging for us as well.
Yeah, definitely lead by example is the best advice.
Leaders go first. That's what I'm hearing you say.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. Samantha and Chantel have been kind enough to share their email address for you. And with the Kagan Implementation Network, we're hoping to create a community. For this to be a community, folks need to reach out across their network. And so what we're trying to do when we share this, our goal is for you to reach out without us. We would love to be there and be a part of this as well, but feel free to go straight to the source of these practical, real world examples and help us build that community. We have some folks that might be joining us today because they received an email. We tried to send and communicate with a broader audience this time outside of the email list that I send to that's a part of the Kagan Implementation Network. If you know somebody who should join us in this community of learners, please scan this QR code, copy and paste the URL, and send it to them in a text message or an email. We send out success stories outside of the webinars. We let you know when the recordings are ready to go. And we hope to just continue to build that communication all around the focus of implementing Kagan Cooperative Learning. So make sure to invite somebody to join us. The principal and assistant principal Samantha and Chantel have shared with us today the Everyone Answers was kind of a catalyst for them in getting this work going. So maybe your team needs a catalyst as well to spark that energy. Scan this QR code. One of our partnership team members will reach out to you to make sure you feel supported and your needs are met. What a great installment of the Kagan Implementation Network today. Samantha and Chantel, thank you so much for your time. If it's okay, if you two don't mind hanging out with the live audience for maybe another 10 or 15 minutes, we'll end the recording here and we'll invite everybody to come off camera, come off mute, and just interact a little bit more organically. But to everybody else, we hope you enjoyed the rest of your day, and we hope to see you next time.